Ladies and gents, I finally finished the main story for Expedition 33 and I made an absolute giant mistake, and hopefully you haven't done this same mistake as me just yet and you can rectify it. Now, I preach so much in these videos because we like talking about the builds and the different elements of the game and how we can gain power and gain an advantage and how to best grind for levels and stuff like that. I love doing stuff like that. I love grinding for levels. I love creating characters to make them stronger and more powerful and doing things that give you the most optimal result to get that character more strong and more powerful and just have a great time. Well, I fumbled the bag on this one massively. In all my preaching and all my lessons, by the way, don't watch this. If you don't, spoilers, don't watch this. I'm going to show you the introduction bit, but the premise of this, right? Don't overlevel. Stop leveling now before you do the final mission. Before you come right here to Lumiere, before you do this, do not level. I think when you finish Act 3, although some of the companion stuff and stuff you're going to do won't make that much sense, if you finish Act 3 in the levels of 50s, maybe 60, don't do this. Come and do this straight away. Don't go. Granted, I was a little bit lower level than I am now. I've been playing a little bit more on. And I am a little bit higher level than I was when I came in. But do not come, honestly, I'm going to show you why this is a grave mistake. But just take my advice. Just listen. Do not do this too late. You can do this and continue to play the end game. It don't force you out. It doesn't force you straight into New Game Plus. You load straight back into the game. And over leveling is actually critical when it comes to this mission. I wish it scaled a little bit more, but it doesn't. There's no scale to this mission. By the way, this mission threw me for a loop. The ending of this game threw me for a loop. If it did the same to you and you did this, just let me know. But I'm just going to come flying in here and fight an enemy because it's going to make the most sense, right? So I'm going to fight this guy right here. It makes me so sad because when I think about the excitement I had throughout this entire game and then I came and played this, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do a base attack. Just going to do a base attack, right? So that did 18,000. So that's a good chunk. That is a good chunk. But now, look, I'm stanceless. I'm going to do stand down. I'm stanceless. I'm going to do it. And we're going to see that we're 65. So they've got about 100k health bar. So if you could do 100k, that's the basic enemy dead, right? If you could do 100k. But it gets worse. It gets worse because you're doing way over 100k with your skills. Once you hit 70s, it might, like, you're doing way up. Like, we're 80s now. We're doing 1.8 million, you know, in 80s. So I'm going to just travel to a boss. And we're going to see, like, oh, I'm so sad that I made this mistake. But now we're at, like, somewhat of a boss. Again, just get off of this video if you haven't done this mission. Like, if I've told you already, but just in case you don't care, we'll fight this guy. We'll go and fight this guy. And I'll show, this should be, I imagine, this is a very important moment. And I imagine this should feel like a very, and I mean very, very intense fight. This should. It should feel like a very intense fight. So that was over close to 200k, right? But oh man, this is gonna feel wrong. It's gonna feel completely wrong. This is a really two tap with Genesis. They had 83k health. Those sword guys. Oh, the pain. Yeah, just genuinely, just don't do it. Do not do it to yourself. Don't do what I did. Don't put yourself in that position. I got super excited grinding levels. I need to grind some levels. There's all this new world that's opened up, this end game. I genuinely feel like this game is designed for you to go and do this mission and do all that other stuff after. Even though when you do this mission, the other stuff that you do after is going to then make no sense to you and be senseless. There's two ways round that they can fix this, Sandful, right? You either make this mission, this one mission, scale with your level. It just has to be this one because it's such a wild and random mission at the end of the game that maybe it could scale with your level, or you say what level is the cap to the point where if you level beyond this point, this is going to be too easy for you. But it is too easy. It's too easy if you go into the 70s. I imagine it's easy at 65. So you really need to be doing this pretty much as soon as you start Act 3. There needs to be no faffing about and enjoying the world and everything. You need to be doing this. Genuinely, the best way that they solve this is in the future to make it more difficult. You just need to make it more difficult. You need to make that final mission harder or scale with level. Like, that's just literally it. That's the only way that you solve it, because if it's harder, you go to that world, right? If you go to this world and it's really difficult, then you are going to go off and grind and do all these other side things and do companion missions and stuff like that to get yourselves to be a level where you could do this. I did that throughout the game. I went and I might have grinded an area because I was struggling with a boss or whatever. So I don't know. It's just a shame. It's just a shame. I know I've done it to myself, but there's no warning that, oh, hang on a second, you might get too good. You might become too powerful. There's no warning about that. I just think there needs to be a warning. That's why we're making this video. There needs to be a warning. If you've already grinded and you haven't done this mission, it's still great to tie up the story and to do the story beat. I definitely still recommend it. It's just not going to feel as powerful and as intense as like some of the other fights that you have in this game. Because let's be honest, the fights are so intense and you're just like, oh my god, parry, parry, parry. You're not going to have this in this because no one ever attacks you. Nobody ever gets to the point where there was one point where something lived. I'm not going to say what. Something lived and he was going to attack me. And I was like, I've forgotten what parry is. I've just spent an hour and a half in this area to maybe 2 hours. I don't know. But it is a great area. You're going to pick up a lot of stuff. Maybe weapons that you missed, pictos that you missed, stuff like that. There is loads of goodies in the area. Just needs a warning on the bottle, man. Needs a warning on the bottle. Hopefully you've watched this video beforehand and you don't make the same mistake. I made a video saying what to do in Act 3 and that you should do these other things. No, you should just go and do the damn main story. Anybody who tells you any different, they probably ended up doing what I've done. I wouldn't go anywhere near 60. Anything above 60, you're probably going to start finding this a bit too easy. If you're way above 60, this is going to be far too easy. But anyway, that's going to be it for me. That's going to be it for this video. We've got more videos coming very, very soon. Thank you very much for the love and support, and I will catch you in the next one.